Well, today's Good Day groundbreaker quite literally paved the way for me to bring you this report. You see, nestled in Chicago's south suburbs is a hero whose sacrifice fighting racial segregation in 1961 helped set the stage for the Civil Rights Act that soon followed. And those pivotal years of American history as a freedom rider are times Miller Green will never forget.
I didn't have the time to really be a teenager. I had to grow up with Mississippi on my back.
This is Miller Green today, a proud father, grandfather, a resident of Country Club Hills, and oh, what a life he's lived.
I was born May the 9th, 1943, in a little town in Mississippi called Benton.
As a child, he didn't experience aggression because of his race. In fact, he remembers quite the opposite in nearby Jackson, as long as everyone played by the rules.
We would go to the movies together with the whites, okay? We would have to go inside, purchase a ticket, come back outside and go up the fire escape.
It's just that cleaning country clubs in high school, he began questioning the status quo.
I'm listening to what my parents is telling me. I'm listening to what the preacher's saying, and they're telling me about God. But I'm looking at the situation, and I'm saying this is not right.
The brutality was being televised, and outside agitators were being blamed. Miller Green was fed up.
But I got tired of seeing my people abused. And I felt at that point, well, I'd rather be dead than to go through what my parents and them had gone through.
So when a freedom rider approached him and his teenage friends in 1961 about joining the movement, Miller put fear aside upon hearing the assignment.
He's telling us to do something that we've never seen anybody in Mississippi do.
They were instructed to enter the Trailways bus station through the white entrance, given $50 to attempt to purchase a ticket, and prepared for what could come next.
I remember today is walking to this door knowing that anything could happen. And I'm thinking about him until. And I approached the ticket agency and asked to purchase a ticket, and she told me that I was supposed to go around the back.
Within minutes of refusing, police arrived. Soon after, they were thrown in jail. Surprisingly, though, they were given a chance to leave if they just forget about those outsiders filling their heads with crazy ideas and go back to the way it's always been.
I told them that I didn't like the conditions, okay? And I said, we'll be here to the jail ride.
Months in a cell went by, but by the time they were released,
governor could no longer tell the president it's just an outside agitator. So that broke the stalemate.
Progress. The work, however, was far from over. As times began to change, did you feel like you were stronger in your purpose, or did you ever question why you were doing what you were doing?
No, I've never questioned because I knew that somebody had to do it.
He began working voter registration efforts, meeting people like Stokely Carmichael, going from city to city, state to state. His field office in Mississippi shared by Medgar Evers.
He would speak so well, you find yourself shaking. It was so powerful, and it just went all the way through you.
The danger of their mission marked by Evers' murder. So Miller says to unburden his family, he moved north to Hyde Park in 1963, where racism looked a little different at the time.
The instructor asked me, he said, who recruited you? And I told him, and he just come out and told me, he said, I don't know why they would do this, because they're not hiring black people.
Miller Green persevered, living to tell his heroic story.
But you have that faith in God, and you know when you get weary, you're gonna get stronger. You don't give up. And you always win.
The Civil Rights Act passed within months of his move to Illinois. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 was next. And over time, he and his fellow freedom riders have been celebrated for their bravery. Books and articles have been written about their fight. He's delivered countless speeches about their role in the movement. Oprah even invited them to her studios to hear their stories firsthand. By then, Miller had become a successful businessman and philanthropist who went from fighting for equality against brutality to witnessing the first black man elected mayor of Chicago in 1983 And another black man in the city he now called home greet a crowd in Grant Park as the nation's incoming 44th president in 2008.
He has quite the story to tell. He is an icon, and I'm truly grateful for his journey and the time that we spent talking about it this Black History Month 2025.